My adventures really started, in the true sense of the word, when my granddaughter was born. And she was barely, I think, about 9 or 10 months old when she began speaking and interacting, and almost immediately you could see that childlike wonder when it came to storytelling. And it is from that point onwards where she began to question me about all my travels. I had done a lot of jungle travel, so I told her all about the jungles, and by the time she was about 4 or 5, she knew almost every animal conceivable, colors, places. Children just absorb everything, and then they begin to create stuff from that. Now, I was wonderstruck, and the second the second granddaughter came along, and she was equally inquisitive. But she was in a position to actually draw very quickly. I think 2 or 3 she began drawing. And it surprised me, actually shocked us all, the proportions and things like that. So I felt that, something more must be done for them. Give them a better chance. I didn't get that chance of really expressing my imagination or stretching it. I wanted them to have that joy. So I began this whole storytelling session about a planet called Doryu, imaginary planet, and all the beings on that planet we began to describe, and they started contributing to the story, how it should be this, or dinosaurs, or dragons, or fairies, or orcs, and so on and so forth. Now, of course, there had to be a princess and a warrior princess, and so on and so forth, and the story began to develop. And then lockdown came, and we were cut off. So I began to have a Zoom session with them. They were a few blocks down the road, but we couldn't visit each other. So we went into this Zoom session where I would go through the whole story with them, news stories. And they kept on demanding more and more and adding more. They started telling their friends, and a time came when I couldn't handle all of them on Zoom. So what I did was I moved to a commercial platform where any number of people could come and see it. Of course, for a little money on it, so that I could pay the platform. And suddenly this whole thing exploded, and I had children from Indonesia watching, children from the US, all of Indian origin. And we began the process of developing the adventures on Doryu. And it turned out to be something spectacular. We did 12 episodes of that, and then they wanted a book. So what we did was, each episode we brought it out in a book. But what was happening was my granddaughter was also growing. So we had to up the whole storytelling mode. And we went into animation and so on and so forth. Then I felt that, the children should start writing the stories. And then episodes after that, it was the children who wrote the story. Of course, we would put in the dialogues and stuff. The children wrote the stories. And every episode had a book. It was then that I thought we should have a platform where children can come and really contribute creatively, whether it was an art or whether storytelling or writing, creative writing and so on. That time, the idea of the Mad Hatter. Why the Mad Hatter? I love hats. I'm a bald man, and I love to wear hats when I go out. So I thought of the Mad Hatter as an idea. So I said, the Mad Hatter for children. And that exploded on the scene. We had our first attempt at getting children to write. We had this national contest for essay writing for children. We gave them a few genres. That's it. That's all we explained. And this is the result. A book for children, by children. And we do many other things now. We've started a whole series of books for the young adults, those who are above 13, 14, 15. And we've got one series, that's a whole series, by the way. We've got a young series for 3, 4, 5, which is an entirely interactive book. Ideas contributed by the children themselves. I hope to take this a long way. Parents ought to give their children a chance to express themselves, to exercise their creativity, and really that's the only way they can grow. Everything else is secondary in life. They will learn a language, they will do well in school if they are allowed to grow. That's my objective. Allow children to be unshackled.